Chapter 357, Encountering a Warrior in Fish-Draagon Realm. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Once upon a time, Jang Tangai wanted to have a fight with Jang Yuochen, in which he would defeat Jang Yuochen and regain his reputation as the first genius of Omen Ridge with his formidable power. But now that he was truly standing with Jang Yuochen, the powerful pressure emanating from Jang Yuochen almost crushed him. Although he had powerful martial arts willpower, he was still terrified. It was not until this moment did he really understand the huge gap between Jang Yuochen and himself. Compared with Jang Yuochen, his so-called talent was nothing. Jang Tangai completely ignored the dead queen who was lying in blood. Dead was dead. There was no need to look at a dead person. He pretended to be calm and asked, "Jang Yuochen, how did you escape from Di's siege?" Jang Tangai thought Di was unfathomable. Even if Jang Yuochen was powerful, Jang Tangai still did not believe that Jang Yuochen could defeat Di. Jang Yuochen did not want to say anything to Jang Tangai. He had determined to kill Jang Tangai and would not give him any chance to survive. After seeing Jang Yuochen's murderous feeling, Jang Tangai's heart sank and he immediately turned around to run. "Do you think you can escape?" Jang Yuochen's body moved. It turned into a shadow, catching up with Jang Tangai in an instant and appearing behind him. Pow! Jang Yuochen stretched out his palm. The dragon shadow appeared and it struck Jang Tangai on the back. Jang Tangai immediately infused genuine chi into a jade amulet. It formed a light screen to envelop him and tried to resist Jang Yuochen's handprint. Pow! The light screen was shattered and turned into strands of light spots. The handprint sent Jang Tangai flying out. A huge bloody handprint was left on his back. Ugh! Jang Tangai spat out blood mixed with some pieces of flesh. It seemed like his internal organs had all been shattered by the palm power. Jang Tangai took a healing pill while he was lying on the ground. Then, he slowly got up. However, he had already suffered internal injuries, so he couldn't use any power in his current state even with the help of the healing pill. Now, even an ordinary person could easily defeat him with only a punch. Jang Yuochen walked over step by step. His eyes were filled with an extremely strong murderous intent. "Jang Yuochen, you are too arrogant. Do you really think that I will die today?" Jang Tangai laughed and spared a glance over Jang Yuochen's shoulders. A single-armed old man suddenly appeared nearly 10 meters behind Jang Yuochen. He was standing in the air. The man had a head of white hair which was separated down the middle where a wrinkled old face looked out. Jang Yuochen naturally felt the aura of the horrific power from behind him. That kind of feeling did not feel like a man was standing behind him. Rather, it was like a 1,000-year-old ghost was standing behind him. In just an instant, the cold air from behind him almost froze Jang Yuochen's entire body. Instinctively, Jang Yuochen immediately mobilized his genuine chi to form a giant light blue ball and wrapped himself in it. The genuine chi practiced by Jang Yuochen was blue genuine chi. The celestial body shield which was made from it had robust defensive power. It was even harder to destroy the shield than to destroy a wall. Boom! In a flash, the one-armed man struck out with his palm. The palm, like a 5-fingered mountain, smashed the light ball of genuine chi and reached to Jang Yuochen's chest. Just as the palm dropped down, a golden light rushed from Jang Yuochen's heart. In the light, an audible dragon's roar appeared and a powerful force burst forth, diffusing the power of that elder. Even so, that great impact force still sent Jang Yuochen flying away. He broke a tower and smashed into the ruins of the collapsed wall. "Who are you?" Jang Yuochen walked out of the shambles and dusted himself down. He still stood above the wall and gazed at the one-armed elder. An incredible look appeared on Jang Tangai's face as he saw Jang Yuochen survive the attack of the one-armed man. He said, "Jang Yuochen, the man standing in front of you is the chief chairman of the Poisonous Spider Club. Who can I? Do you think you have the opportunity to kill me today as predecessor who is here?" Jang Tangai has always been arrogant. Even a dominator of martial arts like the Square Commandery Prince was looked down on by him. However, he dared not to act presumptuously in front of Ukinai, because Ukinai was an existence that had surpassed martial arts. His cultivation had already reached the Fish-Draagon realm. Although Jang Tangai had been the first genius of Omen Ridge, he might not be able to break through the Fish-Draagon realm with his talent. Throughout the entire 36 commanderies of Omen Ridge, There were less than 20 warriors in the Fish-Draagon realm. Each of them was honored by the martial arts legends in the Heaven realm. A warrior in the Fish-Draagon realm was a real master, a superior among superiors. There were 3 half-saints in Omen Ridge. They were half-saint Kong Kong in the school of the martial market, half-saint Hanju in the Yuntai suzerain, and half-saint Linksai in the Tai King Palace. However, half-saints were not in Omen Ridge most of the time. They went to the battlefields of primitive world to open up new territories for human beings. They stayed in the suzerain for only a little time. Instead of intervening in struggles of major forces, they preferred to seclude themselves for refining and comprehending the Holy Road. Therefore, warriors in the Fish-Draagon realm were the most powerful in Omen Ridge. They dominated the fate of all warriors here. Yi highly valued Yunwu Commandery. He wanted to unify the 36 commanderies in Omen Ridge and establish a superior class commandery which would be under the control of the black market. And the commandery would be based on the foundation of Yunwu Commandery. So, he had dispatched Hu Qinai to suppress Yunwu Commandery, in case the school of the martial market counter-attacked. However, even Hu Qinai did not think that Zhang Yuochen would arrive before the arrival of those masters of school of the martial market. Swoosh! Hu Qinai flew down from above. He stepped onto the ground and stared at Zhang Yuochen coldly. "You can ward off my palm. There must be a splendid amulet treasure on your body." An ordinary amulet treasure could not stop a strike of a warrior in the Fish-Draagon realm. It must be a top-notch amulet treasure which was worth more than millions of spiritual crystals that had such a defensive power. The amulet treasure of Zhang Yuochen was the dragon pearl in his heart. After knowing the old man's identity, Zhang Yuochen said with a serious expression, "You have reached the first change in the Fish-Draagon realm. You can see through my realm. Indeed, you are a genius who can be the top 100 in the Earthboard." Slightly lifting eyes and exposing white teeth, Hu Qinai grimly smiled and said, "Do you think I can't kill you by my power in the first change in the Fish-Draagon realm? The gap between the Fish-Draagon realm and the Heaven realm can't be compensated by your talent." Never mind Zhang Yuochen. Even if a legendary genius with 9 tricks encountered a master in the Fish-Draagon realm at the initial stage of the Heaven realm, he would be killed with no power to counterattack. Moreover, Hu Qinai had great talent to be able to reach the Fish-Draagon realm. He was not an ordinary warrior. Zhang Yuochen had another trump card, the Sariera. As long as he unlocked the first seal, he would be able to obtain the power of a warrior in Fish-Draagon realm, which was enough to kill Hu Qinai. But Zhang Yuochen did not want to waste the power of the first seal of the Sariera to deal with Hu Qinai. The power could be used to save his life. It was very valuable to him. So the power would never be used unless there was no other way. "I'll have to use the power of martial soul." After reaching the Heaven realm, he had never used all of the power of his martial soul. And now, it was time to show his strength. Zhang Tangai did not know what Zhang Yuochen was thinking, and he thought that Zhang Yuochen was thinking about how to escape. With a joking smile on face, he said, "Zhang Yuochen, it's too late to escape. Your power that you're so proud of is even weaker than an ant in front of predecessor Hu." Zhang Yuochen did not talk nonsense and directly released his martial soul. Swish! The shadow of the soul stood behind Zhang Yuochen and it emitted a blue light. The heaven and earth spiritual chi gathered above Zhang Yuochen's head and condensed into a blue cloud. Hu Qinai shook head and said with a smirk, "It is useless, even if you have practiced the martial soul. The strength of a warrior in the Fish-Draagon realm is not something you can imagine, let alone you're just at the initial stage of the Heaven realm. You will never be my match even if you reached the completion of Heaven realm." Previously, Hu Qinai had seen that Zhang Yuochen using the powerful force of martial soul to kill the Square Commandery Prince. So he had some understanding of his power. Even so, Hu Qinai still looked down on Zhang Yuochen. The battle between Zhang Yuochen and the Square Commandery Prince was just like a horseplay of children to him. But he did not know that the power of martial soul that Zhang Yuochen used against the Square Commandery Prince was only a tenth of what he had. Hu Qinai also did not want to say anything more. He suddenly charged out, his speed so fast that it could not be captured by naked eyes. It seemed like it was just a moment before he came to Zhang Yuochen and attacked Zhang Yuochen's head. Zhang Yuochen's martial soul had perceived Hu Qinai's trick in advance. It immediately mobilized heaven and earth spiritual chi. A sword was formed and it chopped toward Hu Qinai. Pow! With just one casual strike, Hu Qinai shattered the spiritual sword with one squeeze on his palm and continued to strike toward Zhang Yuochen's head. At that moment, Zhang Yuochen quickly retreated backward and escaped the attack. Clash! Zhang Yuochen condensed all of the heaven and earth spiritual chi into the abyss ancient sword. Then, he made an attack to stab the belly of Hu Qinai. This attack not only contained the power of himself but also contained the heaven and earth spiritual chi which was summoned by his martial soul. The power in it had already exceeded the fighting strength of a warrior in the heaven realm. To be continued.